another full day of eating video today. I am so excited for this video. I took a little bit of a break making these videos for a couple of reasons, but I do know you guys do like these videos. You like to see how to create different meals and how to count macros, which we're going to be doing today because I am counting macros right now, and just give you guys different recipes and healthy ideas and just show you how I like to kind of balance my everyday eating. So I am counting macros right now. The reason for that is because I think I was really under eating just the last couple of weeks, just intuitive eating. That's just my body tends to under eat. I don't feel as hungry when I'm just intuitive eating. So I want to make sure I'm eating enough for my goals. So I am back on the macro counting game. And I always like to say, like, macro counting, if you've never done it before, it kind of seems overwhelming, but it really isn't. You learn so much about food, about your body when you do count macros, because macros is specifically to you, your body, your goals. And I think it's just such a good way to learn about food overall. There is a lot of benefits to counting macros because it teaches you about like serving sizes, and then also it kind of helps you figure out how you can fit in your favorite foods just like every day. So I know for me, a lifestyle I did not want is being 100% strict on my diet. I don't want to eat chicken and broccoli every single day, and I know you probably don't either. So it's just a really good way to teach you about food and what's in our food, so then you can have your treats and your favorite foods in moderation in your every week diet. Macro counting is so flexible, and that's why a lot of people call it flexible dieting, just because you can fit in your favorite foods and you can still hit your goals. I always say a majority of your everyday nutrition should be whole, nutrient-dense foods. So things that have simple ingredients, natural ingredients, things that have grown from the earth, fruits, vegetables, lean meats, if you eat meat, everything like that, just because those are the foods that are best for you, and those are the foods that are going to make you feel your best. But also what's really great about macros is you learn how to fit in your favorite foods. So if you love pizza, if you love ice cream, brownies, a glass or two of wine, you can learn how to fit that into your lifestyle and your eating with counting macros, because it just teaches you so much about food. Tip number one is, please don't think that you have to eat as much and what I eat every single day to hit your goals. Every single one of us are so different. Like, seriously, what your macros are gonna be completely different than what mine are. So please don't think that you have to have every little thing to the gram of what I'm eating every day to hit your goals, because that is not the case whatsoever. Please do your own research on what macros would fit your lifestyle, your goals best. Macro counting is all about your personal lifestyle, how often you work out, and what your goals are, so please don't go off of mine. So I'm really excited to make this video because I feel like so often so many people are terrified to eat out. They're like, oh, I have to choose the greasy burger, like all that stuff. So I'm gonna show you guys how you can make healthier choices while you're out, but still enjoy yourself. If you want a treat, if you want the dessert, if you want a glass of wine, if you want a drink, like whatever it is, like I'm gonna show you guys how you can fit that into your macros. Obviously, date nights, going out to dinner and stuff, it doesn't happen very often. So I always say, please enjoy yourself and do not be so strict, but I'm going to show you guys how I kind of do those things, how I choose different meals and different snacks during the day leading up to the time we go out on date night or out to dinner or anything, because I always like to make sure my breakfast, lunch, snacks are on track, nutrient dense, really healthy, and then that way I can enjoy myself a little bit at night. What I like to do is kind of limit my carbs during the day. Obviously not fully limit. You guys saw me, I had bread and stuff for breakfast, but I like to decrease my carb intake because I know when we go out tonight, I'm probably gonna have a little bit more carbs than normal, so I kind of am saving those carbs for later today. So it's kind of, once you get familiar with macro counting and get familiar with like setting up your eating schedule for the day, you get used to it, and like eating out and stuff isn't as intimidating because you know you can save some calories and carbs from during the day for later at night for those extra calories and carbs that you guys might be eating because you wanted to enjoy yourself a little bit more. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get into the rest of the video. Okay, so I worked out and got ready for the day, so I am going to be making a shake now, post-workout shake. So it's about like noon right now, and I'm about to leave in about an hour for the day. So I'm gonna make this shake bigger than normal. I'm gonna make it like a lunch and post-workout shake. So I'm putting like a lot of extra stuff in there just to fill me up longer. So I'm gonna show you guys what I put into this shake. It's gonna be so good, like they're my favorite. So yeah, this is gonna be more so like a post-workout and lunch shake. I'll probably have something with it. Okay, so I have all my ingredients out that I'm gonna be putting in my shake. I measure out all of my food on a scale, so I know exactly how much I am putting into everything. It doesn't take long. Once you get used to measuring things, it's really quick. You just put a bowl on top and you measure everything before putting it in a blender or cooking it or whatever the case may be. So I measure everything so I can make sure I'm exact. Sometimes, like tonight, it's not going to be exact. You're gonna have to put an estimate into MyFitnessPal, and that is totally fine, but because I have full control over what I'm eating right now, I wanna make sure I'm as accurate as possible. Later on tonight, those extra few calories that I might have to log won't be a big deal. So, I'm gonna make this shake. I'll show you everything. I'll show you how I measure everything I did with my breakfast earlier, but I'm gonna show you how I do it with the shake too. The first thing you're gonna wanna do when you're gonna put a plate or something in here to measure everything, you're gonna wanna change this to 0. So then it's not measuring the weight of the plate. Okay, so I'm gonna measure the banana first. I'm just gonna place it in there, and you can see there is 93 grams of banana. I'm gonna add some blackberries to it. So there is 50 grams of blackberries. I'm gonna be adding my unsweetened almond milk now before I put in the protein powder. So I do about a cup. I always measure it onto there. So there is a cup. I'm gonna be adding some super greens. One serving of this is about like 30 calories, which isn't that much, but it's 85 grams. So I'm gonna go and fill this up until that number says 85 grams. Okay, so we got about 85 grams of greens. I like to put greens in my smoothies because it helps just mask the taste of it, and I know I don't eat enough. So we're just gonna throw that on top of there. I am going to add a scoop of the 1UP Nutrition chocolate milkshake protein. This is my go-to protein. I also have it in vanilla. They just came out with strawberry, which I can't wait to try. So I'm gonna be adding in 1 scoop of this. 1 scoop right on top. Okay, so I'm gonna be adding in some oats to this too because I need some carbs. So 1 serving is about 40 grams and it's 150 calories. 40 grams. Okay, so we got 40 grams of dry oats. Okay, so I do measure out my peanut butter because it is so easy to overserve yourself. Peanut butter, if you just took a scoop, it's more than likely more than the serving size. So there's 2 tablespoons for the serving size of this peanut butter. So I'm gonna measure out 32 grams because that's what it says on the back. That is 32 grams of peanut butter. So I'm gonna measure that out right now. 32 grams of peanut butter. I mean, I've seen prettier smoothies, but there's a lot of good things in here. Okay, so usually while I'm either eating my meal or while I'm measuring it out, waiting for it to cook, I will track my macros. I will log it. I use MyFitnessPal. It's just the easiest thing for me and it's free, so that's what I do. I'm gonna log this as lunch because it is gonna be my lunch. I'll probably have something else with it, but right now I'm just gonna drink this, see how I feel, and go from there because there's a lot of stuff in here. The first thing that is easy for me to log is the 1UP Nutrition the 1UP Nutrition Protein. It's already in there, so you can see I just looked it up and I select it and I add it in. And I'm gonna do that for every single item that I put in here, especially with the measurements. It is a little bit, it can take a couple of extra minutes just to fill in the right measurements for what you used, but honestly, like, it is your saving grace because it really is easy to overestimate what an actual serving size is without measuring it out on the food scale. So that's why I always recommend, if you are tracking macros, definitely get yourself a food scale. They're like $10 on Amazon, and it gives you a lot more of an accurate representation of what you're eating every single day. So I'm gonna go ahead and log all the rest of this, and I'll be right back. Okay, so normally after a workout, I only have like 1 banana, some of the protein, almond milk, maybe peanut butter, and that's it. So this one has a lot more calories, it's higher calories, has a lot more like nutrient dense foods because of blackberries and the super greens and the peanut butter and oats for carbs. So this smoothie was almost 600 calories, but that's totally fine because I need it. The importance of measuring out your food, it's really easy. Like, I could have easily gone in and been like 1 banana, 1 medium banana, but like every banana is so, it weighs different, you know? So I have 93 grams of banana, which is 78 calories, but if I just did 1 medium banana in my Fitness Pal is 105 calories. So when you do it that way, when you're not really measuring everything out, you're kind of you're putting more calories into your MyFitnessPal than you actually ate. So then you think, oh, like, I don't have as many calories left, when you really do have at least like 30, 40 calories like that you overestimated previously. So it is really important to measure out your food if you can. If you are really interested in macro counting, it's a really good way to open your eyes on serving sizes specifically, because like even with peanut butter, it is so easy to like overestimate how much peanut butter you're actually eating. Like, some people do a scoop and they're like, oh, this is just 1 serving, but it's really like 3 servings, and already like 2 tablespoons of peanut butter is like 180 calories. So you could be eating more calories than you actually think. You can see it is all under lunch right there. 1,140 calories remaining, and if I click on that and go to the nutrients tab, I can see how many calories and how many grams of every protein, carbs, and fat that I have left, which is really helpful for me, because if I'm going through my day and realize I haven't eaten a lot of protein, I can go and try to get a more protein specific snack, if that makes sense. I like having like a big smoothie like this for lunch because a lot of times I don't have time to make myself a full meal. Sometimes I'll do like a chicken salad. If my meals aren't prepped that week, I will make a chicken salad, or I'll do a big smoothie like this, or I'll make some type of lunch, but not every day you're gonna have that time. So like a big smoothie like this, it's gonna keep me full. It has so much nutrients in it that it's actually good for me, and it can count as a meal. I don't do meal replacement shakes. Do not do this as like you're trying to replace a meal, because it is still higher calories for this one specifically, but that's totally fine because my body needs that nutrients, my body needs those calories. I try to eat really nutrient dense foods at home before I go out for the night, whatever event I do have, just because I know that I'm fueling my body as best as possible right now, and I might not have that opportunity to do it later, but like I know I've been eating really well today leading up to that, so it's totally fine. I can fit them into my macros. Okay, so we just got to Disneyland. So excited. We're not eating till dinner because he's not hungry yet, so I'm gonna eat a protein bar for a snack, and then we're gonna eat dinner. So I'll bring you that. This has 20 grams of protein in it, so it's a really good snack. Like, just one of those days where you're on the fly and you need to grab something really quick. I always recommend one of these. So I'm gonna put this in my Fitness Pal and count it for the day. It's dinner time. We're gonna
hungry, starving.
I know, we're so hungry. Okay, so the first thing we ordered was an ahi bruschetta. We ate the whole thing already. And then I ordered a salad, got some chicken on it as well to get some protein in, but I'm saving some room for dessert. So I didn't want to get something that was pretty heavy, like a huge entree, because I want to save it for dessert. And then I'll also show you guys how I track it. Obviously, being out, if they don't have like a nutrition guide or anything on their menus and you kind of have to guess it, which is totally fine. Just do your best. And obviously when you're out to dinner, it's a little bit hard to kind of figure out like portions and put it into MyFitnessPal, but the more you practice counting macros, the easier it gets. You can kind of eyeball things a little bit easier, a little bit quicker and better and more accurately. So I'm gonna do that with my salad. I already did it with the bruschetta. I just inputted things individually. But yeah, I'm gonna do kind of the same thing with the salad, or find something that's a little bit similar in MyFitnessPal and track it that way. But I did order a salad because I wanna save some room for dessert, because we're going back into the park and they have the best ice cream, the best churros, everything. So one of the things that I kind of look for on menus when we go out to dinner is getting a protein, some sort of carb, and healthy fat on my plate. There are a lot of like entrees. You can get like chicken, steak, fish with like a side of potatoes, or you know, vegetables, something like that, and that's something that I always look for. It's really important to kind of still get, you know, your normal nutrient dense foods when you're out. Obviously, like at times in moderation, you can choose the burger, choose the pizza whenever you want, but for today specifically, because I know we're going back into the park and I know I'm gonna want a dessert, I'm choosing a salad with some protein and some fats and saving the carbs for later. Okay, I wanted to show you guys how I track this. So you can see I put everything in individually. So this was the bruschetta we split, and then this and down is gonna be everything that was in my salad. So I kind of estimated everything, but pretty accurate, I would say, just based off of my knowledge. But so my total for dinner was 540 calories, and I have about 370 calories remaining.
Ice cream?
You guys, the opportunities of dessert.
Churros,
It's
ice
endless.
cream. What else? What's that thing? The pineapple cup thing that you like? The Dole Whip?
Endless. Dole Whip, ice cream, churros, candy apple. Like, you can do so much. But I have about 340 calories left. He stopped tracking.
Nope, I stopped after lunch.
So let's go see what we can find. We decided on ice cream. I swear I'll save macros for dessert every single night if I could, which I pretty much do.
Every night.
I'm such a fiend for ice cream and dessert and everything. I have the
Sweet tooth.
biggest sweet tooth in the entire world. So I'm done eating for the day. But I have, I have about 50 calories left to eat, but I'm not gonna worry about those 50. Not gonna worry about those extra 50 calories, that's totally fine. Like I said, this is a lifestyle for me. I'm not trying to compete. I don't have to be perfect, and if you're kind of in the same boat as me, you do not have to be perfect every single day in order to hit your goals. Just make sure you are consistent with eating nutrient-dense foods and having your treats in moderation. That ice cream was bomb, and I feel zero guilt, which you should never feel guilty for treating yourself and enjoying yourself, especially if they fit in your macros. That's all for today. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I hope it kind of just shows you that you don't have to be 100% strict with your diet in order to hit your goals. Just be consistent. Just eat nutrient-dense foods as often as possible. Do your best with measuring. But anyway, as a whole, just be mindful what you're eating. Be mindful of what you're putting into your body every single day. Try to fuel it with foods that are gonna make you feel your best, so you perform your best day in and day out. You're gonna be good to go. It's a healthy lifestyle. 80% of the time, focus on those nutrient-dense foods. 20% of the time, have some ice cream.